This movie was filmed on Etch-a-Sketch. It's now in 4K.
I upgraded to 4K. Come on. It was shot on video. Come on, people.
Again, welcome back everybody to Horror Movie Monday, where we play trivia games to determine which movie we are going to watch for the movie night that we have every Monday.
Yes.
And before we get started on doing our trivia this time around, I wanted to try something that is a little new to us.
Mm-hmm.
This is Goodies. It's based off the Child's Play Good Guy kind of merchandise in the movie.
Yeah.
And it is white chocolate fruit rainbow crunch snacks.
Never trust food that a doll gives you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna say.
I didn't know if this was edible. I thought it was like a gimmick that you would just buy it just like as a gimmick.
These are FYEs, by the way.
Yeah, it literally is actual food to eat, like little snacks. You mentioned it looked like Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, it looks like they did like Fruity Pebbles. It's very playful, almost like I get like why they did it for like childlike kind of like thing. So
we wanted to kind of try these out and see how good they are. But these are Goodies, and these things cost like $10 too. This was
what?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Jesus.
But I had to get them, Like,
yeah, you see something cool and you have to like pick it up.
I kind of didn't want to open them. I kind of wanted to keep them like
perfect
on my shelf. All right, so.
They smell like Fruity Pebbles?
Ooh. No, they don't smell good. They smell like Play-Doh.
Yeah, they have like a very clay-like smell to them, like a fruit, like a fruity clay. I don't know.
Okay, so it looks like Chucky threw it up.
I think that's what it is. It's like Chucky's puke, and it would be Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah,
because he's a doll.
But it's white chocolate, so I don't know. Let's try it out here.
I'm nervous.
Oh, hard.
It's very crunchy. It's Fruity Pebbles, no doubt.
It tastes like somebody took a spoonful of Fruity Pebbles, formed them into a ball, dipped it in white chocolate.
That's it. I'm not mad at it, but that's literally what it is. It has like almost like that cereal milk almost vibe for a couple seconds too.
Yeah, it does. It does have a very milky-ish flavor to it.
Yeah, I mean, for $2, I'm on.
Yeah, not
$10 now.
No, these are not worth $10.
If you're like a huge Chucky fan and you want to eat Chucky's puke, I would pick them up.
But the cool thing is after I'm done, I'll probably eat the rest of these. They're not too bad tasting.
Not bad.
I'll probably put this on my shelf and keep it like as a display. It's kind of cool. Put it next to my Child's Play sets.
They need to do now. They need to do one for like Mikey. They need to do one for Jason. They need to do one for
they have cereals. They have the cereals.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
Anyways, so
that was
Candyman
cereal I saw in there. When I'm not kidding,
really?
It was a Candyman cereal. It has got to be like it has to be like honey flavored. Yeah, it has got to be. So yeah.
But we're gonna get started on our trivia now. So we'll play a trivia game, and whoever ends up winning the most trivia questions gets to choose the movie that we watched tonight. So
the winning film. You want to kick it off?
Sure. So I'm going to ask you the first question here.
We'll get it wrong.
All right. This one's going to be a description of a horror film, and based off the description, you have to figure out what the title of that movie is. Okay. So, a film crew gets hijacked by their boat captain and taken on a journey to hunt one of the largest snakes in the world in this 1997 film.
Is it Anaconda?
That is, yes.
I remember that film. I watched it like at a sleepover for the first time, and somebody was like really deathly afraid of snakes.
Oh.
That was there, and we had like the best time. It was great.
It's got horrible CGI in it.
It does.
But the fact that they also mix it with real snakes when they're on the boats, I actually really enjoy that movie.
It's like it's one you want to watch with a group.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to get a group of people together and like, yeah. It's a beer and pizza movie for sure. Okay, so I have my first question, and it's what year was the original Poltergeist released?
What year was the original Poltergeist released?
Yes, you have two guesses just in case you're
I'm going to guess, and I think it's 1982.
It is.
It is?
It is.
Okay.
I would have guessed 1983.
That's my second,
It seems like in 1983, because see, they had this big thing. It was like, 1983 was the year for horror movies. Every horror movie, just guess 1983.
But the real question is who directed?
That's
Toby Hooper.
We can literally sit here for 2 hours and be talking about that. Who do you think directed Poltergeist?
It's a mix. I think that they started out with Toby Hooper. They had issues, so ultimately Steven Spielberg stepped in and took over creatively for directing.
Yeah.
And that was probably like maybe 85% of the movie is a Steven Spielberg movie.
It feels like that, doesn't it?
And just because Steven Spielberg was nice, and maybe is friends with Tobe Hooper, didn't want to get anybody in trouble or anything, so maybe he just went ahead and gave Tobe Hooper full credit of the title. So.
I could see that, yeah. What my opinion is, I've heard a lot of like people talk at length about it. A lot of people doing like almost like private investigative work into what happened. But the way I see it now is that Tobe Hooper was sitting there on the director's chair directing the film. At the same time, Steven Spielberg is like down his neck, guiding him, showing him what he needs to do. So I see it as a like 50-50. I don't know. I see it as an effort from both of them. It is kind of crazy that Steven Spielberg did not get credit. However, Tobe Hooper does need more credits than Stephen King has, so I'm glad they did coin it as a Tobe Hooper movie. I like Tobe Hooper stuff. I think he was definitely capable of directing Poltergeist, but again, it just doesn't feel like a Tobe Hooper movie. It feels like a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah, definitely Spielberg.
Who would know? We might not ever know.
In Hatchet from 2006, the Adam Green film, what stuntman / actor played the famous Victor Crowley in the film?
We all know him and love him. He's at every horror convention in the world. Kane Hodder.
That's right.
It's not a horror convention unless that dude is there. Literally, Kane Hodder's not there, the place will shut down. He has got to be there.
I literally went to 2 different conventions in one weekend, and he was at both of them. I don't know how. He was at both of them.
Literally, first person is like, Horror Hound Cincinnati guys, opening day, who's going to be there? Number 1 person in line, Kane Hodder. He will be there. He has a line every time.
I went up and shook his hand and talked to him, left the convention, drove down the street to the next convention, and walked in, and he was sitting at the table. I don't know what happened.
That's hilarious. That is a very Kane Hodder thing to do. A young man narrowly escapes a murderous hitchhiker only to be accused of crimes committed by that same hitchhiker in this 1986 horror film.
Sounds very much like The Hitcher.
And it is The Hitcher.
Okay.
And it's The Hitcher, but it has not gotten a Blu-ray release. So if you're listening, Vinegar Syndrome, if you're listening, Severin, if you're listening, Scream Factory, we need The Hitcher on Blu-ray.
Scream Factory. Right now, it is streaming on HBO Max, which means it is
in
owned.
HD.
It means it's owned by Warner Brothers / HBO. So if
already has
anybody
an HD transfer.
So if anybody wants to release it, go through Warner Brothers. They're the ones to do it. Scream Factory's had deals with Warner Brothers before. Why they haven't gotten this, I don't know. Maybe it's in the future.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but it's just been way, way, way too long without the Hitcher, and I need the Hitcher in my life. You know, we need this. We need to have a really good collector's edition of the Hitcher. Yeah. I'm done.
We really need a collector's edition of the Hitcher too. I've been waiting.
Let's start with the Hitcher one first. I really, honestly, I love Scream Factory. I know you guys love Scream Factory. We all love Scream Factory, the criterion of horror. But, you know, I'll be honest. Vinegar Syndrome has been stepping up their game, and they have been pretty on point lately. I love the Vinegar Syndrome releases here lately. Yeah. They've been doing a really good, great transfers every time.
They do like 4K transfers of like movies that's never been released before.
I know, they find like the most obscure like movie that no one has ever seen and just upgrades it in 4K, and people's like, what is this movie? We don't want.
So, 4 teenagers accidentally kill a stranger with their car and dump the body in the ocean. 1 year later, the teenagers begin receiving messages from someone who knows what they have done in the past 1977 film.
What?
I'm sorry. It pretty much just gave you the title in the plot. Sorry. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah. When a car dumped 4 friends.
A car took a dump on 4 friends next to the ocean. I'm just kidding. That's the title.
I was like, is this a car dump?
Let me read this again.
Okay, let's hear this again.
4 teenagers accidentally kill a stranger with their car and dump the body in the ocean.
I've seen this.
1 year later, the teenagers begin receiving messages from someone who knows what they did in this 1997 film.
Okay. I think that I know the film. I have not seen the film in a long time. Was it... I mean, I'm just going to take a leap of faith here because I think I'm confident. Is I know what you did last summer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's the reason I was laughing is because like I was trying to describe the movie and then it says the title.
What you did. Name 3 films that Lucio Fulci has directed.
Oh my god. I always get it mixed up because like which ones which ones he's produced and like which ones he actually directed.
Okay.
Lucio Fulci's House by the Cemetery.
Yes.
Lucio Fulci's The Beyond.
Yes.
And Lucio Fulci's, let's see here, Zombie.
Yes.
Zombie. Okay.
Yeah, very good.
All
3 fantastic Lucio Fulci films, as long as it's not Enigma.
In what year was the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre released?
$1974?
That's right.
Is it? What is the title of Clive Barker's novella that inspired the 1987 film Hellraiser?
Oh my gosh.
The story that inspired it.
Is it The Hellbound Heart?
It is, yes. Very good.
Yes.
Nice. We're still in the game. A great novella. Great series.
That was a tough one there.
Love Clive.
In Child's Play, what is Chucky's full name?
Chucky's full name. The dude? The spirit that is inside of him?
Yes.
The guy.
Yes.
It's not Mr. Chucky. Oh my god. I don't... Okay. You're going to win this. Dude, you're going to win this.
This is such a basic, easy question.
This is such an easy question. I know. I'm like literally drawing a blank. The dude. Child's Play. I give up already. I give up. Don't tell me. Just don't tell me I know. I know.
Charles Lee Ray.
I did not know that.
Chucky.
I know. I did not know that. When you said that, does not ring a bell to me right now at all. I do not fucking know. I have no idea. No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're watching Child's Play.
Alright guys, this is the last question we'll see as long as he gets this wrong, and I'm gonna make sure it's a good. This is gonna be a good one. I think you got this though. Name 5 monstrous animals in a horror movie. It can be any animal, any breed.
Monstrous animals?
Yeah, like okay, for example, I mean I can give you an example.
Like Cujo.
Yes, okay, that's one.
Cujo the dog.
Cujo the dog. It could be anything.
Church the cat from Pet Sematary.
Love that.
The snake from Anaconda. You don't have a name.
I guess.
Mr. Slithery Snakey.
We love that.
So that's 3. I mean, what, 5?
Yeah, 2 more.
Let's
see what they got.
The shark from Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce.
Bruce the shark.
And let's see, animals. How about, does werewolves count?
I mean,
let's see here.
You got this. 1 more.
The spiders from Arachnophobia.
I mean, yeah, okay. You could have done the boar from Razorback, alligator from Alligator. Here it is. You guessed it. The movie that we all know, hate, love, feel indifferent about. The ultimate Halloween movie. After Halloween doesn't exist anymore. We all sat down very late night, not remembering exactly what happened the next day, and we watch Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
We love Sam. Love him.
It is one of those movies that joined in to be the ultimate viewing for Halloween time.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I really enjoy this movie and I really like it,
Mm-hmm.
but I also personally feel that it's very, very overrated.
Bold horror statement right there. You're gonna get attacked. Well, you guys will be very sad to hear that I also feel the same about this movie. It's popcorn. It's Halloween. It's fun. The idea of Sam in there, the idea of the pumpkins, the fall foliage, the leaves falling, the blood, had plenty of blood, plenty of horror elements to it. There was nothing not working in the horror element. But something about this movie, there's just something about it. I don't know what. It just doesn't quite go there. It's not cohesive enough. I don't know exactly. I can't pinpoint really.
Yeah, I can't either because I like every aspect about it.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoy each story. It's well done, well produced. It looks good. Its acting is really good.
I don't like every story though.
Oh, which one don't you like?
So there's the scene, this ongoing, it cuts away a lot of times and comes back to it. But there's this scene where they're at this festival, this Halloween festival downtown with the parade and everybody hanging out and stuff. And this dude comes out. I don't know if he's an actual vampire. I don't know if he's like a stalker. I don't know if he's like a crazy ex. We don't really know much about him, but we think that he's like this like forbidden love kind of like dude that goes around biting like women's necks, like this particular woman, this particular girl in the story. And I still don't get why.
Yeah, it's never answered. Know. It doesn't make any sense.
It's very out of place, and it actually kind of bogs the movie down. There's like this one that has like the where they're eating the candy, the poison candy. That's so good, fantastic. All the way to the very, very end of the film, whenever we see that showdown with Sam, everything's very, very like put together and makes complete sense. But they just threw that in there. There's also like that werewolf scene between the girls.
So that's the reason why I like the story, is because I like the approach that the werewolves, like, they peel their skin off. That was kind of cool. The fact that she was dressed as Little Red Riding Hood, and you thought it was going to be the opposite of what was going to happen, and then all of a sudden they turn into be the people that are evil. I like that as well.
So you're okay with the werewolf transformation?
I was okay with it. Though it's not my favorite story. It's my least favorite of the stories. My favorite is obviously the Sam story, where he's with the old man in the house and attacking the old man. I really love that one.
You know, here's how I see it. I know that this was supposed to be very comic book almost inspired.
Like Creepshow-esque.
Creepshow-esque, but like surrounded by like almost like horror comics. Because you see like, I mean, like even like on the screen behind us, you see kind of like a comic strip almost from it. So they're trying to be like little episodes, like episodic anthology. It's like, now we'll go to the anthology in a minute. I'm going to call it anthology now, just because it's the easiest way to like just, talk about it. But it seems to me like the writers, did Michael Daughtry like actually write this too?
I think so.
He was the writer, and I think, yeah. But Michael Daughtry seems like he's really, really into the idea of this this like legend around the town where these kids all are kind of have like mental disabilities, and they're driven by this bus driver every day. The parents pay off the bus driver because they don't want to like deal with their kids' mental illnesses anymore, and like physical illnesses and stuff like that. And they pay him off to drive them off the side of a cliff. And there's like basically the entire town surrounds the night of Halloween, because that's the night they come back, because it was on Halloween night. And it seems like it really goes there. Like it feels like Trick or Treat mostly is concerned with me. I don't know. It just seems like that's like their pinnacle story. Like it's like the story that's the biggest one, takes the longest time of everything. So it seems like he's very focused on that. So I do find like a little bit more interest with that, because it takes so much screen time out. But overall, I think that story isn't the most like fun to watch. I think the most fun to watch is the poison candy, and then the dad and the kid. Don't forget to help me with the eyes, kind of thing.
Yeah, I really like how in the poison candy one, with the dad and the kid.
Yeah.
I like how you see it from the perspective, because they're neighbors. So you see it from the perspective of one story, and then later on in the movie, when it goes over to the neighbor, you see it from that perspective, and it never crosses back over and shows you clips from that one. It's all stays on that one stays on the one page of the neighbor, and I really like that about it.
Yeah.
Now, I do not call this an anthology. It is not an anthology. So, to me personally, the definition of an anthology is someone telling individual stories.
Okay.
They don't have to have anything related to them. They can have a wraparound that kind of connects them if they want to. But all of this takes place at the exact same time period, around the same few hours or whatever, in the same area. Intertwining characters. You have the character of Sam, who goes through each one, is the cause of all of them. But also throughout it, you have characters that are running into each other. For instance, one of the characters in the werewolf scene runs out to the parade, and they bump into the people at the beginning of the movie that are dressed up in like the robot outfit.
Yeah.
So to me, that is not an anthology, because it's not individual stories. It's all one big thing taking place over the course of one night. And if you look at anthologies and you place them into that category with it, they're all different time periods, different places, different people. And that's not what this is. And I mean, it doesn't bother me that people call it an anthology, but to me personally, I don't call it that.
I mean, I see exactly what you're saying with that. I think I agree with a lot of what you said. I think that it's been marketed, like the film before it came out was marketed as an anthology, because it's 4 tales of terror is what it says. And you look at it, I think that it might have a big issue because Michael Daughtry did write and direct all 4 stories. So whenever if you have like a director shooting one narrative piece without having like that, differences, like for example, like, Creep Show, Holidays, all those, like any kind of horror anthology, XX, all of them have different kind of like people chipping in on different stories and helping out. Different directors. I think where Michael Daughtry wrote and directed this, he wanted to make one that's like very seamlessly cohesive to where they do take place in the same world, same night, same kind of area, this one town. So I think that the problem with that is that they meant to make it an anthology, but it doesn't feel like an anthology because it's all so close together in one town, one person making the film.
If you were to consider this an anthology, I'm just going to leap out there and throw this. Any movie where somebody goes in and kills somebody randomly, and then the scene cuts to a different group of people where he goes in and kills them randomly, would be an anthology, according to the style of this film.
True.
So, like Friday the 13th, there's just a random hitchhiker, right? And then you get the scene with him driving the car, getting out. Mrs. Voorhees kills the hitchhiker.
Right.
And then later, it cuts to the other campers at the campsite, and then they go through all of them. That would be considered an anthology if you put it in this category, because it's the same aesthetic. The same aesthetic.
It is.
The character Sam is walking around the area, and he is doing certain things that's causing these people to die. It's just edited differently.
That's what it is. I think that where Trick or Treat really gets like under people's like skin in terms of anthology, non-anthology, is the editing. I think too. Like it doesn't help that it's written and directed by the same person and it takes place in the same town on the same night, but it also has the whole kind of thing going for it that it's all edited together. There's no wraparound story that starts out. I mean, Sam's a wraparound story because he always shows up in them. However, the wraparound's not really a true wraparound because they edit them together to where you don't understand the ending of these stories until the end of the film. So we open up all these like different ideas and stories and characters, but we don't like see their story and then the story ends and then we like take a journey with Sam or something to another story.
Yeah.
These stories are just like pieced out, like a little piece here and then we see a little bit of that there and they go back to the other story then. Mm-hmm. And they just keep on like recycling that. So I think that that's what makes Trick or Treat feel like not an anthology.
It's not an anthology.
I'm 50-50. I don't know. I can see it both ways.
But I really like the movie itself. I just feel it's a little overrated.
I think what they should do if they've not seen the film is just bring your expectation down to 0 and like think about that. Just think about like Halloween. Watch it during the Halloween season, and then you might actually like it.
So don't kill me or hate me for any reasons, but I'm going to give this a 7.
6 for me.
7 out of 10. So thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think? Do you think Trick or Treat is an anthology? If yes, let us know why. If no, I understand. So thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
See you.